Hi, I'm Sandy Flor from the UP Open University, and I would like to talk about quality. Now, quality has been a perennial issue among those involved in open and distance e-learning for quite a long time now. Okay? And I get it. I know where comments such as the quality of distance learning courses are not quite as good as, well, compared to other universities. I know where these arguments are coming from. But I would like us to take a fresh look at this issue. You know? They just came in this afternoon, and I'm going to make use of these fruits to illustrate my point. An orange is an orange, an apple is an apple, and as they say, you cannot compare apples to oranges, right? The same is true with higher educational institutions. Consider apples as your brick and mortar institution, your residential campus where teaching is done face to face. And consider oranges as open and distance e-learning universities, Odell universities, or open universities. Now, the comments that go like this, open university instruction, the quality of open university instruction is not as good as residential campus instruction. They're comparing apples to oranges. Okay. Now, how do we define quality? I think we better get to the nature of that first, yes. And I would like to refer you to this book. The title of this book is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert Pirsig. It came out in 1974, and it immediately became a bestseller among college students such as myself then. Although the title is such, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, it had very little to do with motorcycles, very little to do with Zen, but it had everything to do with quality. Actually, the author refers to it as a treatise on the metaphysics of quality, since quality is so hard to define. And it would be unfair if we use an ill-informed concept of quality when we apply it to open universities. Okay? Now, as I said, we cannot compare apples to oranges. And why is that? Well, I think we should first go to a number of concepts. Firstly is our sense of self as an institution. What are open universities? Okay? The processes that we undergo, input, throughput, output, are attributes as an open and distance e-learning institution. I am introducing another term here. I'm calling it meta-attributes. I will explain later. And of course, our brand. I think a thing should be judged by its attributes. What makes it true to itself? Like, for instance, when we judge an orange, we see how close to an orange is. Is it color? Its color, is it orange? Is it a bit sour and sweet? Does it nourish the person taking it? when we look into the quality of an apple, we look at its taste. Does it taste like an apple? Is it sweet like an apple? Okay. Does it also nourish the person who is taking it? Now, both are fruits. Both are, well, they're supposed to provide nutrition to the person taking it. In the same way, open universities and residential universities both serve the purpose of learning, okay? But they have different attributes, okay? We judge apples differently from, or apples differently from oranges, and oranges differently from apples. And that should be the way open universities are judged. We should judge them using different assumptions about what they are. First, I'd like to go through the processes that we go through. What inputs, what are the inputs in that processes? The academic staff, for instance, that should be a basis for quality. And this is for both residential campuses and open universities. Are they quality academic staff? The administrative staff is another example. The students that come into or that we admit, okay, that would be another parameter of quality. And the budget that is given to us as universities, that should be another parameter, as well as other resources. The processes, I'd like to talk about that. The administrative workflows. Now, there is where differences between residential campuses and open universities would come in. Some, but not all, administrative workflows done in a residential campus are different from what we do in an open university. So is academic workflows such as the research, extension, and instruction. Curricula, we are seeing drastic changes in the curricula using an online platform. Even the pedagogy, the way we teach online is different from the way we teach face-to-face. So see, we cannot really compare one to the other. The delivery system, of course, where we are teaching online, that would mean an online platform for delivery compared to the face-to-face instruction that we do in brick and mortar institutions. Assessment, we will talk about that in a different video, but there are differences, fundamental differences, I would venture to say, when we teach online and when we teach face-to-face. Output. Granted that open universities, the quality of open universities should be judged through its output. There is a saying that, actually it's a quotation from the Bible, "By their fruits shall you know them." So our quality should be judged with our fruits, meaning publications and other knowledge products. Our graduates also should be a basis or should be an indicator of the quality of students or our quality of the instruction that is provided by an institution, be that an open university or a residential university. Now, I would like to talk about the essence, our essence as an open university. What are our attributes that make us different from brick and mortar institutions? I think this is this particular topic is very significant in this narrative. First, we teach via well, we use you know, there is space between the teacher and the student. Okay, distance is one of our fundamental attributes. Another fundamental attribute is time. We do not teach, or most of the time we handle our teaching activities in an asynchronous manner, meaning we do not have to be there at the same time as our students. Open universities make more use of technology than face-to-face campuses. So with these three attributes, distance, time, and technology, I think we should have indicators of quality that relate to these attributes. I would also talk about meta-attributes. Excellence is an example of a meta-attribute. Effectiveness, efficiency, automation, these are meta-attributes of brick and mortar institutions. Remember UP's slogan, honor and excellence. And well, as insofar as effectiveness, efficiency, and automation are concerned, these are attributes of all organizations, including organizations of higher learning. How about equity? I would venture to say that equity is associated with open education, with open philosophies, but it is not necessarily associated with face-to-face universities. As a matter of fact, traditionally, being an exclusive institution is supposed to be an indicator for quality. In the case of open universities, our openness should be an indicator for quality. Flexibility is another meta-attribute that is associated with open universities. Flexibility is not really given that much importance in residential campuses. Inclusion is another meta-attribute that is associated with us. And relevance. Open universities are expected to be relevant to existing realities and the existing environment. So these are the determinants or the basis for indicators for open universities. Now, what do we need to do right now? Obviously, this discussion on quality is a continuing one. We are still at the point of deconstructing quality as it applies to us. What system would be appropriate for us? What framework of quality should we assume or make use of? What are assumptions? What are our assumptions about quality? And there is also the matter of systematization, meaning many of the workflows that we engage in as open universities have not been documented in the past because these are new ones. These are new processes that we encounter, we adjust to, and would require, of course, analysis and documentation. Lastly, I'd like to talk about the brand. Of course, the UP Open University is unique in a sense that it is associated with a premier institution of higher learning in the Philippines. We carry with us the University of the Philippines brand. And at times quality is associated, or I would say most of the time quality is associated with our brand. So that, of course, is an asset insofar as we are concerned. But then the University of the Philippines has always been known for excellence. With the addition of that lower part of the Open University logo, I believe that we should explore other slogans. And this is actually what I would like to propose. Excellence in equity and equity in excellence. Okay, so that's food for thought for you with regard to the issue of quality in open and distance e-learning institutions. Thank you.